Hi there, Scorpio. This is Sagittarius Yogini. Welcome to my new channel. And this will be a general tarot reading for August 2024. My intention is to do weekly Tarotscopes where I combine tarot and astrology. And if you like the way that I read, I do offer private Tarotscopes where I take your natal chart, I pull it up, I look at the current energies, and if you have a special area of focus like career, money, whatever, I can focus on that and look at what kind of astrological things are going on, and also do a tarot reading, personal tarot reading, obviously. Okay, and I'm going to link the link to that reading below, but because I'm new, I don't think it's a clickable link. So I'll also link my email address, which is metaphysicalmidwife@gmail.com. I don't know if you could see the back of these cards. I just think they're so beautiful. I think I'll pick this one. Okay. All right. Okay. So the heart of the matter is the Seven of Swords, and you can see someone looking behind her as if watching her back. And that's kind of what this card, the pages are thoughts and, communications. It could be texts, letters, words that you're speaking to people over the phone. And swords are our thoughts, but what are our thoughts really things we should pay attention to sometimes? Sometimes they're old programming. And so when I see this card, sometimes it can be a bit of paranoia. Now, that would be especially true if it was reversed, but I think even in the upright position, a person may be kind of like in this defensive posture, like about some kind of messages, or maybe even in that role of the spy. This is the spy card. Well, Scorpios, I often think of like this, especially if you also have Mercury in Scorpio, where you tend to be very suspicious in life. And, always like when somebody says something to you, you think that's not I want the whole story. I want to get to the bottom of this. So I'm laughing because I never really paid attention to Vedic astrology. And just for the heck of it, I plugged in my information. And so as a sun in Sagittarius with Mercury in Sagittarius, I found out that in Vedic astrology, I'm a Scorpio with Mercury in Scorpio. And that makes perfect sense because of the way that I operate. So I'm laughing because I know that I do this, but I wasn't aware of it. I wasn't really aware. But my partner, I'm giving him the third degree all the time. So it's like a force of habit, because I'm going to include me in that, perceive things so deeply that we think this can't possibly be the whole story and nothing but the truth. There has to be something beneath the surface that the person is kind of leaving out. In the past position, we have the Seven of Cups. This is connected to Neptune, and Neptune can be about delusion. So this can, and confusion, and this card can be about confusion. Now, sometimes I wouldn't call it a good confusion, but it's coming from a good circumstance where you are presented with a lot of options. That's always good in life, to have a lot of options. But you can see that there's a snake in the top right corner. So it's like, I don't know which choice is a good one. So if I were to apply this to kind of like a dating situation, I would say someone who is back on the market and is like, gosh, I don't know if I want this person or that person. Um, and there might be confusion because sometimes people put on their best face, you know what I mean? So, also same with work matters, or job offers, I should say, is that and it's funny too, because I was talking about having Mercury in Scorpio, but if your Mercury is actually in Libra, that can lead to a lot of being indecisive and kind of not sure which option to take. So, but I also would say in love matters that this can be wishful thinking, that you really want something to be other than what it can be. And yes, I do believe that Scorpio people can fall prey to this because you love very deeply and you're also a fixed sign. So, you're not somebody who enjoys the prospect of change. So, if you can kind of see somebody in a certain light, that can make you feel like, hey, maybe it isn't what I think it is. Maybe it's not so bad. And kind of convince yourself of that. And, it's not like the end of the world if you did something like that. But by the same token, it might be something that you don't want to make a habit. Because if this is, for instance, this may be like, I would say with the Page of Swords, that you are definitely in spy mode. And maybe you're checking the person's phone and trying to bust them on something. This is that. This is like, this is kind of like, I don't want to use the word curse of Scorpio, but it is what happens with Scorpio is that you are very perceptive. And so if you sense that something's going on and that person is lying, that can be really maddening because you don't want to be made a fool of. So that's why you might do such a thing. But by the same token, while you're doing it, you probably don't feel in control. You probably feel like you are violating their privacy, but you can't help it because you want to get to the truth. So it is a very difficult situation. I mean, I would say that if you don't trust someone, then you probably shouldn't be in a relationship with them, but I know it's not that black and white. What's coming in is the Page of Pentacles, and this, like I said, pages are messages. So this may be something where you're going back and forth. You might not even be, if this is a romantic situation, you might not even be with that person all the time. And that's one of the reasons why you kind of are feeling like you don't know the whole story. But this is a very solid card. And this can make you feel more at ease. However, there may be a relationship that you are also, I don't know if I'd call it juggling, but maybe reigniting, because we do have, I'll get to this card in a minute, but this card can be reunion with someone. But in terms of work matters, this could be that you hear back about employment. So maybe you get that offer. This is also a card for students. So if you can't decide what it is that you want to do, you might say, I'm going to get some kind of training so that I can be more autonomous, because I don't know if I like any of these options. And that's because I don't have this or that credential or whatever. And if I get that training, then that will make this a moot point. And also the Page of Pentacles can be that you receive a lump sum of money that you might use for education purposes. The outcome is the Two of Pentacles. This is a card of reunion. You might be reuniting with somebody from your past. We are having a Mercury retrograde in the month of whatchamacallit, of August. So yeah, you might hear back from somebody that you knew. And also, this is a card of commitment. So some of these cards might be that you are not sure if you want to commit to somebody because you might have trust issues, and that might be represented by the Page of Swords. And I feel like, yes, there are people who have experienced trauma in the past, and that means that they are a little bit gun shy when it comes to new relationships, and they don't want to, experience the same thing, which is understandable. And that's a little bit different than the person who automatically fears relationships because they think that they're just convinced that the person's going to cheat. That type of person is more far gone. If you've had a recent bad experience that leaves a bad taste in your mouth, that's, kind of different because you're still probably healing. So think about that, because if you have a very deeply embedded sense of lack of trust in relationships, that's, probably stems from past trauma, that can poison the well, and you can have a self creating, what are they called? Self-fulfilling prophecy. And you can actually create the very thing that you don't want. So, because sometimes if someone is constantly getting treated like they can't be trusted, they're like, well, screw it, I might as well. They don't trust me anyway, and they feel justified because they're so pissed off, But anyway, didn't really want to end on that note, but it's important. I hope that you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.